Okay, everybody, it's me, Bonkai922. Second core time for Gachiakuta. This episode was big. Huge. Massive episode. Episode 14, The Storm Before the Storm. So, I think that's what it was called. Right, Storm Before the Storm. So we get the conclusion. We saw what happened in episode 13 with the whole. But in this episode, Vent's over with Amo and everything, and they decide that you're going to go get checked out by the doctor. That Alice guy, it was mostly a woman. I don't see it. It doesn't look like a woman at all. It looks like an old man, but whatever. So they get checked out. We find out the other two were actually part of his family, grandchildren. That guy who screams and makes the masks, and the one who heals. So they get kicked out. They get healed, and they wait for the storm to pass. We do get an awesome. The secretary, man, oh man, that secretary, who is Samu Greer, she goes absolutely ham against I was just taking a look at Mal, and surprisingly enough, the English is played by a black girl. What? So yeah, and this was a really good scene because it's rare to see. I mean, we've seen black women in anime represented, with Bleach and everything in between. But this one was pretty severe. This was such a beatdown because these guys show up, these marauders that want basically Rudo, and she goes out there. She's basically trash talking them like, yeah, you guys can't come in here. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's nice. And she goes out, puts on her glasses are on, and she activates them. She slows down time, and she grabs. The guy shoots an RPG at her. She grabs the RPG and flings it back. I was like, yo. And she beats the shit out of these guys. Now, during this instance, Engine has to get everyone up to the back way. So they go through the back way, and after this whole scenario has been resolved, someone had basically tipped off these guys, which were now leading to it being the Raiders. Now, what this sets up is them going to a restaurant, and they're eating food, and stuff. And we finally get, because it's not just them, not Engine and his group, the baby cleaners group shows up, which is kind of funny. Like, one of them is big on kaijus, and she starts talking to Rudo. Oh, what's your favorite kaiju? I was like, whoa. But some more characters to get acquainted with, because we get Baby Santa is one of them, and Bro Santa. And then basically what happens is Rudo leaves her and goes to this table, and this guy with a hood and this other kid with a hood are there. And, he's like, oh, you should, who are you worried about? Trying to take soul talk, which leads up to the reveal. The guy he's talking to is the leader of the Raiders. Now, he shows the boots. So this is just, and Rudo's going after him. And that's what happens is he's not by himself. That little kid with the the sewer lid shows up also and creates a portal. And he goes after him. He pulls him in. Everybody goes in. And she's like, "We have the cleaners." Like, and then the last scene of this episode is a full lineup of them walking towards each other, and then Rudolph's facing the leader of the Raiders, and there's Jobber and all of the other Raiders and all the cleaners facing each other, and that's where the episode ends. Now, I did see a clip. It's a trailer. It was just a trailer for the second Cour of this season. And in this clip, in the trailer, the Raiders boss does ask Rudo to join him. Now, the context for this is that he obviously doesn't like the Spheres. He doesn't. The Spherettes. The ones who live in the Sphere. And he wants to go and destroy them. Now, also it showed in the trailer that Amo is there. So she's not dead. So that's good to know. But my feelings on this whole thing is that that's what the Raider boss wants. Now, we get also a clip in the opening of the Angel, which... Because the thing that was explained in this episode, which I want to also bring up, was that they were asking Rudo, how do you come to the ground? Because there's supposedly this border. I don't know how, but there's a border that prevents you from going up and coming down. Now, my guess is that because Rudo was being sacrificed by those assholes and the fucking little girl, whatever, sent to the pit, that's why he didn't confront this border. But if you go try to fly up, you have to go up to the border, you get stopped. But Rudo doesn't have any recollection of how he got there, what really happened. Now, this whole thing is kind of a weird scenario because in reality, what Rudo wants is simple. He wants to get revenge for who killed Wrinkle Toe, his adopted father, and go against the people, and the guy with the rings, the people who wronged him on the Sphere. Now, the thing is, he's not going to accept the Raider boss's plea. I don't see it happen. First of all, even though he doesn't seem evil, he's got ulterior motives. And Rudo's not going to fall for that shit. But as far as this episode's concerned, I'm going to say 9.5 out of 10. This was done very well. We got to see the Secretary Samir Greer fight. Samu. So, black women represented. And we also got to see what this is going to go into. This is a full-on war between the Cleaners and the Raiders. Should be interesting. I think we're going to get a lot of involvement with Rudo and this boss of the Raiders, and what this is going to entail, and how this is all going to shake out towards the end. I don't know if we're going to get a full-on conclusion, but I think this will be like, we'll see where this goes from here. But I don't think he's going to join him. That's not going to happen. It's not in the cards. Especially after they attacked Amo. Like, really? No. Get out of here, douche. But should be interesting to see how these fights transpire. and what ultimately happens between these two groups. But that's all I really got for you guys. Oh, I should have mentioned, I'm adding 2 first impressions. Now, these 2 are both on High Dive that I'm currently watching. One is not there yet. It's still waiting on episode 3. And the other, I'm waiting for episode 5. Because the show is very confusing and I just need to see more before I get my results on that. But that's all I really got for you guys. Bankai Ninja 2, I'll see you guys later. So, Gachiakuta. This will be a massive arc battle. See you guys later.